Hey guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 20th of February 2019. I'm using the Universal Tarot, which is another spin-off from the regular Rider-Waite deck. So this is another good deck to start with because most of the other decks that are in circulation now, especially the modern ones, are all based on the Rider-Waite deck. Very few are based on the Thoth deck. So if you manage to learn the meanings of this one, you have the key to all the other decks. If you want to learn how to read your own tarot cards, take my course on the website. I've made it really cheap at £17 because I think the tarot is a divination tool that everyone should have access to. It's just so fun and easy and accurate, and it's just amazing. I discovered them when I was 11 and I've been hooked ever since. So let's have a look at what the day is about, Wednesday the 20th of February, and what you'll be working with. So we've got La Morte, got death, then we have strength, and the Ace of Swords. All right. So first of all, death is an ending. It's an inexorable force of life. We've got this priest, vicar kind of person saying, don't come here, please spare us. He doesn't spare the king, he doesn't spare the children, he doesn't spare the women, he doesn't spare anyone. The sun is coming up over the horizon there, these towers, the institutions. Death marches on and on and on. It's pure in spirit, in a sense, and it leaves no one out. The path that it moves on, everyone's going to fall by the wayside. And regardless of the people who die, the world keeps spinning. Other people who haven't been in death's path are going to keep living their lives. And death is a miracle. Death is one of those inexorable forces of life that we just have no control over, like birth, falling in love, death. And death can be obviously awful, losing someone you love, but when someone is suffering and on a resuscitator for 10 years, it can be the most sweet release that you could ever hope for. Now, in the tarot, it doesn't mean physical death. It means the death of an idea. It means the death of an energy. It means the death of a way that you've been going. So we've got this religious person here, the person in charge. So, which is interesting because in this deck, he is very much highlighted and emphasized, and other people in the other cards, it's not usually this religious person. So the king is dead. He's going to be gone in a moment. So the message is that it's really about trusting yourself. All the powers, all the authority figures of life are gone. Death has seen to that. And really the only thing that you can rely on is your connection with yourself, your higher self, and the universe. That's the only thing that is immune to death. That's the only thing that's going to live forever and be consistent. Death in itself also doesn't take away energy, it just transforms it into something else. So yesterday, you may have been thinking about where you're at in life. We had that full moon in Virgo, didn't we? And you may have been considering certain aspects of your life which work, certain aspects that don't work. And now, a day later, you're really ready to kill certain things in your life that no longer work. So if you feel like I have the strength to be an artist and I want to draw a certain way, but I was brought up in this church, in this religion, and they say it's a sin to kind of draw. Just as an example, you're going to put that to death today. You're going to say, I'm not going to let this religion censor me anymore, and I'm going to follow my heart, and I'm just going to march right over that, and I'm going to do what I want. So it's a great day to get things out of your life that no longer serve you, and that takes strength. So if it's a person in your life, you've realized that you've been in a relationship and you have spent 5 years taking care of this other person, and you have got nothing back except a load of abuse and a load of negative, critical responses, and you haven't got anything positive out of this relationship, and you've been pouring your love and your care into this relationship, trying to get the other person on the same page, you'll be able to say, this is over once and for all. And that takes strength, especially if you've been in a relationship, because you kind of get brainwashed into the way of being and you lose your identity in a relationship like that. Also, if you're institutionally brainwashed, that's also really difficult to escape. What else is there? Because if your entire life revolves around your religion and your family, and your whole family is involved in a certain religion, when you decide to break with that religion, you also break with your family, and you're all alone. Yes, you're listening to your guidance, but as far as other people are concerned, you're totally by yourself. And that's why you've got to then start to meditate and feel the unconditional love of spirit, and to connect with your guardian angel and your higher self and your guides and all of those things, so that you don't feel totally alone. And you do have the strength today to do that. And the reason that you're putting things to death and that you're going outside of the status quo, outside of the powers that be, and you're independently dealing with these monsters in your life that have to go. You have no more time for disruption, or for people draining your energy, or for people attacking you for no reason when you're there being helpful. You have the strength to do that. You've always had the strength to do that, but sometimes it's hard to remember, especially if you're in a relationship and you've been so brainwashed that you feel like you're no good and you never do anything right, and you get all of these negative messages and you've got hours and hours of tape of that. It's really hard to suddenly say, hang on, this is actually not who I am. So all the green and blue she's wearing, she's coming back to her true nature, and she's listening to her intuition. And this is happening, the ending of what other things could end. So relationships, connections with institutions, other people, jobs that are beneath you, where you're being exploited, where you're not being treated properly, institutions you belong to. So again, that's both work and religion. Some of your hopes and dreams that have been unrealistic, you may have analyzed those yesterday and said, well, some of those are just not going to happen. I'm going to let go of those. Yeah, and that's it. So you have the strength to do it on your own, and then the Ace of Swords really supports you. Yes, you have the strength to say, okay, enough is enough. I'm not going to let myself be fooled around with anymore. I have a right to be happy just like everyone else in the world. And the Ace of Swords then really is the cherry on the cake, because not only do you have strength, but you have total clarity of vision. And the Ace of Swords is that. It's the way you think, the way you communicate. It's a gift from the universe. You think totally clearly. You see things for what they are. It's like the royalty of thinking. So the sword when it's used, it can cut things away. So same as death here, you can use your clarity of thinking and focus to cut away the negatives, to get rid of the monsters in your life, to let them die, which is a natural process. We can't move forward unless we let the old pass away and we make space for the new. And this is a whole new beginning for you this day. You're really super, super empowered. You know exactly what it is you want to do. And please don't ignore today. If something is incredibly important for you to finish and something is incredibly important for you to start, please embrace that thought and see it through. You may not see it through today if it's starting a new family or starting a new company or working for someone else. You may apply for the jobs today or decide to start their own company, but you may not finish the whole process. But it's something that occurs to you today. You have the strength to end the negative, to expand and to start new things in the positive. And that can be done over the next couple of days and weeks. So you've got to remember that this strength that you have is infinite. And if you find that you start to doubt yourself in 2 weeks' time from now, or you start to feel regret, oh, I should have stayed in that situation, I know I was treated badly, but at least it gave me some security, then think back on this day and realize that no, yes, the path forward alone is difficult, but it's better than being mistreated, because you're making the space in your life for good to come in, and you're not allowing yourself to be stuck in a situation where you're just doomed to be miserable and unhappy. So it's the ultimate day of self-care, self-realization, self-actualization, and it's tough. You're tough, you're strong, and you're the master of your destiny. You're the master of the universe that you live in. You create your life exactly the way you want it to be. And look around at humanity. There are several exceptional people in human history that stand out. And all of those people stand out because they've gone against the grain, they've gone against the status quo, they've overcome insurmountable obstacles, they have overcome things that seem impossible, and they've done it on their own. Look at Joan of Arc, or Karl Lagerfeld, who died yesterday, or Lee Radziwill, who died on the 15th of February. You know, these are all people who took what they were given and then did something really different with it. And it was painful, but they're remembered because they really lived their own truth, and they were authentic, and they were truthful to themselves, and they didn't allow them to be made smaller by other people or rules or regulations or whatever it was at that time that said, be quiet, follow the instructions, and just do this. They were themselves, utterly, truly, always. And that's what you can do for yourself today. 13 and 8 is 21, and another one is 22. And 22 is the master number of the builder. So you're building something long-term here. You're building your new identity, the person that you are. Master number of the builder can be something that you build and create that serves as your legacy. So you're creating the person you're going to be remembered for. You're stepping into your own real grown-up adult shoes now. And you're saying, no. I'm letting the fake me go. I'm letting the authority figures which have kept me small, I'm letting those go. And I'm using my own strength to put myself center stage, in the limelight, and it's my ideas that are valuable and right and truthful. And this kind of reminds me of a phoenix tale. You're the phoenix rising from the ashes of death. You're becoming the most powerful and authentic version of yourself that you can be. So it's an ultimate day of self-realization. It's not easy, but you have the strength to do it. So don't shy away from it. This is a fabulous opportunity to become the kind of person you've always wanted to be, but that you haven't had the courage to actually follow through with. So have a wonderful day. It's a really important one. The master number 22 doesn't show up all the time. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. In my personal readings, I use tarot, astrology, and numerology. I can answer any questions you may have in a personal reading. What is destined for you in terms of work, what your talents are there, what your life purpose is, what's going to happen in terms of love life and marriage and children, finances and wealth and abundance, your physical health, travel, moving, self-employment versus employment. I can really answer any questions you may have. So if you're interested in a reading, please get in touch. If you like these videos, then please share them online and hit the subscribe button. And I'll speak to you tomorrow.